Alright, and we are live. I am working on a Nintendo Switch. We're gonna do it real quick. We're not gonna sit here for no 30-40 minutes, so let's get to it. Go under the hand cam and let's go. And this is the Nintendo Switch that came in. It came in for a charger port. Put this up there. Let's flip it around and start removing these screws. The 4 screws on the outside shield takes a Y-shaped screwdriver. It's a Y0 if I'm not mistaken, Y0. And all the rest of them takes a regular Phillip head. All the rest of the screws is a regular Phillip head. It was only them 4 on the outside that takes the Y. Y0 is the size of the driver. And everything else is a regular Phillip. We have 2 screws right here next to the charger port. And we have 5 screws here, but we're not going to remove them. The only one we're removing is the one in the middle. That's what holds the back cover down. And on the other side also, the one in the middle. And then we have 1 more screw on top here. And this should pop off. Okay. And now we just have Phillip head screws. Let's remove them all real quick. Set them on the side. They're all the same size, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about what screw goes where on the silver ones. All of these are all the same size. I had to do it real quick. I have a customer in the front area. Sold him an 11 Pro Max and we're moving his data from his old device to the new one. And I'm like, let me go ahead and knock this out real quick. Unplug the battery. After y'all, let me try to see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay. So what we have is screws, silver screws. They're all the same size. Like I said, we can put them all on one side. Connector for the digitizer. And the game slot. Let's remove the fan. Not the fan, but the heatsink. So we can remove the game slot that we're just working on. Alright, you can move this out the way and that out the way. Set it to the side, unclamp this, set this to the side. This is the LCD connector. And then you got the power button and the fan right next to each other. Alright, I'm going to just loosen up the screws on the fan so I can be able to just push it a little bit to the end. We can remove them. That's fine. I never actually removed the fan. I'll go ahead and remove it for you guys. And then we got some black screws. We got one on this corner. Put these on the side because that's what holds down the motherboard. Another screw and one more. So 4 screws. Yeah, we got 4 black screws that holds the motherboard down. And we have 2 silver screws that's on top of the charger port. They're the same size as the other silver screws. You can lay it right next to them. And let's go ahead and disconnect the speaker. And the Joy-Con connector. And the other speaker on that side. And you got the backlight flex and the other Joy-Con connector. The small one is the backlight and the other one is the... Alright, now we got 2 more antennas right here. Just snap off and we're done. So let's go under the microscope and finish this job real quickly. This is the charger port. I guess I just see one pin. But on these Nintendo Switches, this little M92 T36 chip that goes bad a lot. So as soon as I remove the port, I will test it, make sure it's not shorted, and if it is, we'll go ahead and replace it. So let's go ahead and get our iron ready, our heat ready. Alright, I got a new port in my hand. Oh wait, let's flip this motherboard around so we can apply low melt solder. Alright, you can apply your flux. After you apply your flux, you can go ahead and get your iron and your low melt solder. Just do what I'm doing. Apply some of that low melt on these pads. That's all it takes. Alright, now we can flip it around and remove the port using heat. I like to use the max heat 500 with 120. Let's just apply a little flux. And let's go ahead and warm it up. Let's wait for these pins to melt. There we go. And go in circles. Keep going in circles until you can lift up the port. You don't want to force it so you don't break no pins. It has 2 rows of pins on this port. You don't want to break them. There you go. And now let's get the wick while the motherboard is still hot. And with some pads, or with these little holes. So go ahead and put your wick up here. Alright. And should be good to go. So what I'm going to do right now is clean. So we'll go ahead and clean. And then tin the pads, so we can go ahead and drop the new port in. That should be good enough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just flip it this way. Let's see, you guys can see, okay? Apply some more flux. And after you apply flux, you can go ahead with your iron. You can get some solder on your iron, just a little bit. And just go over these pads. You want to tin them. Make sure they fluffy. There you go. And then the same thing with the charger port. Let's go ahead and open it up. And apply some flux. And let's go ahead and tin these pads. Okay. What I'm going to do is float it in place. So I'm going to come over here. You guys can see it. What I'm going to do is lower the temperature down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just warm it up from top. Just a slight. And after I warm it up from top, there you go. You can see the solder melt. And once that solder melts, you can go ahead and go from the bottom and bring your new port. Just grab it. Go ahead and place the port down here, just like that. And give it a minute. Let it melt. Not the port, but let the solder melt. There you go, a little bit more. Alright, I just want to hold down now. Alright, keep on holding. Keep on pressing down until it cools down and the solder hardens up. Alright, so let's go ahead and put it back on the bench and go over the pins in the back. And we should be done. And then we can solder the 4 anchor legs. Yeah, just go over the pins, make sure all of them got solder. Be right back. I got a customer in the area, front area. White, black, or red? Red. Alright, sorry guys, I'm back. I'm gonna just go ahead and solder this. I have 2 customers in the front area I have to get back to. Let's go ahead and apply solder right here. And over here. And then let's do the other 2 holes. And do this one. And that right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and clean and then I'll reassemble. Okay, just give me a second. I'll be right back. But I'll be right back with you, man. Alright, I'm back, guys, so let's go ahead and reassemble this real quick and go ahead and test it. Oh, before I do this, let's test this M92 chip. Make sure there's no shorts around it. And most of the time it's this cap, it's good, and then these caps. Good, 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 and let's see this one, and it's good. Okay, so the M92T36 chip is good. So let's go ahead and reassemble it. Go back under the hand cam. I'm gonna just plug up a few wires real quick to it and show you that it is working, and then I'm gonna end the video because I got some customers, and then I'll get back to this when I'm done with my other customers that's in the front area. Pull this up out the way. We get the other one out the way. This out the way. Alright, so all I'm gonna plug in, let's go ahead and just put 2 screws down here so I can hold down the motherboard. And after that, we'll go ahead and plug in the LCD and the backlight and the battery, and then we'll plug it up and show you guys that it is charging. Okay, we got this one in, and the backlight is this little cable on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it like this, clamp it in, put the battery in. I'll do the rest of the wires and the fan, all that in a second, and just show you guys that it will start charging. And get my amp reader and my charger. Alright, we have this little amp reader. We'll plug it in, and we'll plug in this charger cable. And what we get right now is, you see that light up, and we are getting 15 volts at 11 amps or 0.11. It will go up. The battery is dead, so I can keep this here. If you want to stay on live, watch it come on. It will take probably 5 to 10 minutes for it to come on, but I can keep it on for you guys to keep watching, and I'll be right back. Alright, right now it's at 15 volts and 0.20 amps, so it is charging. It is still charging, and just give it a few more minutes. Alright, I'm back again, and the customer just left. So let that charge up, and I have an iPhone 12 right here that came in. It says overheats plus shuts off. We tried frame swap, and I do feel it hot, but let's see what they're talking about where it turns off. I'm gonna go ahead and to the timer, and let's see how long it takes for it to turn off on this one. Well, I'm gonna put this on the side and work on this other customer's phone. He wants a frame, and let's go ahead and swap out his frame for him and the screen, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Mr. Jacob Smith. We're just waiting on it to come on to show you that it is working, and I got a customer. Be right back. Alright, I'm back again. I'm just waiting on this to come on. Now it's at 15 volts with, let me see if I can show you. It's pulling in 0.46 at 15 volts, which is still charging and is doing better. The battery is juicing up, so maybe another 5 minutes. And this one haven't rebooted yet. It's at 3 minutes. And let's go back to this phone that I'm working on. Frame swap. And when you do frame swap on these iPhones, you have to move this front camera to save the Face ID. I'll go ahead and remove this motherboard real quick. I'm just waiting on the Nintendo Switch. I would have been ended the live. I usually don't sit down and wait on it under the camera. After I test and I'm sure they will come on. But I'll go ahead and wait for you guys. I haven't did a live in a minute. I think I did one yesterday, but it's been a while since I did one. Get a SIM slot, move a customer SIM card from out of here. Yep, put that on the side. And the motherboard should pull right out. Let's pull it up from right here. Oops, there's one more screw. And let's go ahead from, there you go. This is that's the good motherboard that we need to put in the customer's new frame. And let's remove his, let me go ahead and apply some alcohol on this. Where's my brush at? Where is the tube? Right. Okay. Just go ahead and add some alcohol to loosen up the adhesive under that battery just a little bit, so we can squeeze out. The what's his name? Them little connectors for the Face ID and the front camera. Yep, there you go. Got that down. We're gonna set this on the side and get the frame that we're gonna work on and do the same thing. Remove the screws, remove that camera. And that'll be it. Put these extra screws in the other bin. It's taking too long, but it's still charging. It's at 15 volts with 46 amps or 0.46 amps, so it is charging. 100% is charging. Is there any more screws on this? Camera and alright, I'll put this motherboard in my donor boards, and let's go ahead and remove this camera. Apply some of this alcohol to loosen up the glue under it or the adhesive, and let's do the same thing. Just lift up a little bit. Okay, and now put this on the side. We'll get the customer's camera, slide it in. There you go. Slide the other one in and set it in the spot. It goes under a shield and slides up. That's it. We'll get the customer's motherboard and we'll align it. Move all these fluxes out the way. And then it should just sit down in a spot. Just use my tweezers to help me out a little bit. Alright, everything is sitting in a spot, so let's go ahead and clamp all of these connectors, Face ID, back camera, charger port, and all of them. Alright, now we'll connect the charger port, keep the battery unplugged. Let's go ahead with our screws. Add one here. Add one over here. We just waiting on this for the guys that came in. We working on Nintendo Switch. We just waiting on it to come on to show you guys that it's done and ready. And I'm working on another device for a customer while that one gets ready. Alright, and I'll put the customer SIM card in here. Okay, and now let me go ahead and get the customer's old screen because he also wants a new screen. We'll go ahead and remove this speaker and we'll move it to the new screen. Alright, after that comes off, we just move it up. I always like to put just a little bit of alcohol. You can see the Nintendo Switch just came on, so that's a good sign. And it is it's not touching because I didn't plug in the digitizer. The only thing that I plugged in was the LCD and the backlight. The digitizer is right here, so it's not gonna touch. But I will end the video. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.